Alright guys, now I'm going to cover a topic that is by far most easily the most common topic or question that I get asked nearly all the time, more than any other topic in table tennis. Equipment. Before I do that though, I'm first going to say thanks to you guys for all the great questions coming in. Keep them all coming. There is a lot of them, so thanks for your patience and understanding over this next period of time. I'm just going to have to get through them bit by bit. Okay, let's get started. So, what is the best equipment? That's one that I get asked a lot. There is no best equipment. So, for most players, first of all, I can't say what works for you best because I don't know you that well. Most people, even if I do know you very well, even if I know how you play, it's such a subjective topic and question that it comes down to what you like personally as a player. And again, also, there's no one set of equipment that's going to suit you best. So my advice to you here is to try different things. And with some equipment, you'll think, oh yes, it's for me. With other sets of equipment, you'll think, could be better, not so good. First, understand that no rubber is perfect. So if you go with something like Tenergy, Dignics, you might find that they're very, very spinny and hard as rubbers. They've got a really hard sponge. Then you'll find that their control is not as good as some other rubber that's not as quick. But that's just how it works. If you start using faster rubbers, they're just made for higher performance and more higher levels. Again, it's such a subjective topic. At the same time, you'll see a lot of beginners using Tenergy and Dignics and these sort of rubbers, and they're not wrong in using it either. It's just a matter of what you like personally, what you feel like you can play well with and you can utilize for your game. So try around, you'll find different things that you like or don't like, and there's no answer. Whatever you like, use it. Without sounding too blunt, I literally can't name out a set of equipment that will just be perfect for you. So there is no such thing as the one. There'll be different equipments that work for you. So for example, a player might like Tenergy, and he or she might also like Dignics and rubbers from other companies, and 6 different blades, and they may all work for him. So whatever he or she chooses to use, in the end, it doesn't really matter that much. What do I use? I get asked that a lot as well. So I use a Peter Corbell blade, Tenergy 05 hard on the forehand. So I generally like to have the black side be my forehand. To those asking, no, it doesn't matter if you use black on your forehand or red. The differences are so little that it makes no difference when you actually play with it. I use Dignics 05 on my red side, so that's for my backhand. I did switch to Dignics 05 a bit after it came out. I used to play with Tenergy 05 on my backhand. I've generally played with normal Tenergy 05 for the last 10 years, since 2008 when it came out, and I only switched to these two when they came out, really. I'm also asked, since the plastic ball change, why do I not play with the 7-ply wood? So I actually used to play with, I'm also asked, why do I play with Peter Corbell? Isn't it a little bit slow for me? So I actually used to play with T-Mobile ALC from 2010 to 2016. I'm not sure if it's a 7-ply wood, but it's definitely faster than what I use now. So there's no answer again. I used to use a really fast blade like Ball ALC. I switched to Peter Corbell because I wanted a bit more control in my passive game, in my blocking, in my short play, my serve and my receive, my first ball, my first spin. I also noticed that I was going through a time in Germany when I felt like when I was under pressure, I couldn't really control the blade. That was me personally. So I decided to change to Peter Corbell, and I liked it ever since. I always felt more control. An important thing to note is that I do play most of my competitions and tournaments in small holes. So that definitely makes a difference. If you're playing in a medium hole, then I guess the speed is medium. The speed will feel everything's normal. It's not too fast or slow. If you play in a small hole, you're going to have the illusion. It's sort of an illusion, but it's also real that everything's faster. But if you play in a big hole, you'll notice that everything feels really slow. So if I was playing all my competitions in a big hole, in a large hole, I don't think I'll be using Peter Corbell. I definitely think I'll be using something faster, like a Viscaria or a Bowl ALC, something of that kind. Something that's pretty fast, but not the fastest of the range, and it gives me good control at the same time. How do I glue a racket? How do I glue rubbers onto a bat? And how do I cut new rubbers, make sure they're glued on well? And how do I know which glues are best to use in the racket? So again, the glues is something that is personal choice. I don't think there's better or worse. In the future, I'm gonna do a tutorial, a video on how to glue rackets and rubbers together and make a new set of racket with new rubbers on its blade. So people also ask, what about the rubbers from the other companies like Andro, T-Bar, and so forth, Chinese rubber? I can't actually give you an answer, unfortunately, because I've played with Butterfly my whole life. I've been sponsored by Butterfly Australia since the age of, as long as I can remember, 10 or 11. So I think anyhow, I've always played with Butterfly and never really played with the other companies, the other brands. So sorry guys, I can't give you an answer on that. I just know that Tenergy and Dignics they're a worldwide common choice. So most players who play with these rubbers will find that they're quite good. They have a good amount of spin, a good amount of speed, and they just feel really nice. Another question that came from one of my YouTube subscribers. So if you were to coach beginners from 6 to 8 years old and intermediate level players, would you recommend that they use fast equipment, medium or slow equipment? So again, it depends. So as a person who, as someone who's doing a bit of coaching, I personally believe that if players from a young age are looking or have the thought of becoming good, they just want to be as good as they can be, instead of saying I'm going to play for 2 years and then quit, then I highly recommend that you start with Tenergy. If you're starting from scratch, you're learning basics, learning new techniques for the first time, I would recommend to play with faster rubbers, because I believe that's what you're going to use it at a later point anyway, and those are equipments that you want to learn to control in the long run. So I think, yeah, you might struggle with it when you start, but it's going to be better off for you in the long run, because you're already developing the right techniques relevant to a fast rubber with good amounts of spin and speed, instead of playing with $2 Kmart bats where you have to go like that to lift the shot, and then you become a 10-year-old or 11-year-old playing with techniques like that. But again, there's arguments in the opposite way, and I know a lot of high-level coaches who also say no, players when they're just beginning, they should play with slow equipment where you can control the racket. So I'm not going to say my answer is the only answer. You know, there's different opinions, that's all. And again, what people choose to do is up to them. Okay, intermediate level players or club level players who, I guess, they've got a certain technique because they've played for a number of years and they play table tennis for fun. They're not looking to become a national champion or something like that, or they're not looking to become very high level players. They just want to be pretty good, get as good as they can be with their daily life schedule, work hours going on, and enjoy the sport at the same time whilst getting good exercise. I'd say to those people, if you're at a certain level, you should be using pretty high level equipment as well. Just because if I use rubbers like Tenergy and Dignics or the same high tension rubbers from other companies, it's just better than it's just better than using rubbers that are Kmart made, shop made, where you just can't get any spin and speed. For me, I personally just think that they're junk, and why play with junk when you can spend a bit of money and play with good equipment and actually enjoy yourself while you play with it. So for example, I play tennis, couple, for fun every now and then. I also play a bit of badminton for fun, but as I start to play it more and more, I want to use a good racket with nice strings. I don't want to play with some crappy racket where the ball's just going down all the time, and the rackets really have no tension and the ball's just flying everywhere because the racket's so bad. That's not what I want, and in table tennis, I think it's no different. You don't want to be trying to enjoy yourself. You know how to play top spins pretty well, and then you're playing with some crap racket. So that's it for me today. I hope that makes a lot of sense. I hope that that gives a lot of people a bit of breathing space and ability to just say, okay, cool. I understand what the go is with equipment now. Good luck, guys. Good luck searching.